Hi DIYers, this is Michael from Alarm Grid, and today I'm going to be showing you how to change your master code on your 2 gig edge security system. So the master code, it's your main arming and disarming code. It's the code used by the primary system user. If you're the main user of your system, then you're probably the one with the master code. If you're a secondary user, then maybe you have your own personal user code and you don't necessarily have access to the master code. But there are a few special things that the master code can do, which I'll show you a little bit of those, and I'll also obviously show you how to change the master code. And I want to stress it's very important that you change your master code. The default is 1111, and a savvy intruder will try that code and attempt to disarm the system that way. There are lazy users who don't change their code, and that's a big no-no. You should absolutely change your master code. You don't necessarily have to change your installer code, which that default is 1561, but you can keep that at its default so you can get into programming easily, even if you forget the code, because that code cannot be used to disarm the system. But your master code, it can be used to disarm the system, so you absolutely want to change that. Just give you a little quick demonstration here. If I go to arm away, and the system's in the arming away countdown period, the exit delay countdown, and I go to disarm, then I have to enter in a code, or I can potentially use facial recognition if that's set up. But in our case, let's just focus on codes here today. So if I enter in the master code, which ours is at the default, 1111, then you see that we have disarmed the system at 4:20 p.m. So if we want to go and change the master code, then what we can do, we can press the settings icon in the bottom right corner, and then we can enter in our current master code, which ours is at the default, 1111. We could also use our installer code for this, 1561, which that's the default unless you've changed yours. Well, it's still the default, but you've changed it. But anyway, so once you've gotten to this menu, you can choose users. And then you see we have a few different users here. We have a test user, which that's just a regular user code. That one's not going to have the authority to get into this menu. I'll show you that in a second. You see the code is 4444. But let's say we want to change the master code. We see we have our master user right here. We can click the settings button, the little pencil button. You may encounter a regulatory statement when you first do this. If you do that, you can just preferably read through it and scroll to the bottom and click accept, and you'll be good to go. But in our case, we already did that, so we don't have that menu option there. So if we click on the option for access code, then we can enter in a new code. Let's do 7777. And then once we enter the code, we press next. And then we have to re-enter the code. We have to confirm it with the system. So we'll do 7777 just to confirm it, and we'll press save. And we have now changed our master code. So let's trust this process again. First of all, I want to show you that the regular user code from earlier, it can't be used to enter into this menu. You can't use it to change the codes. See, it says access not authorized. Now, this shouldn't be confused with entering a non-programmed code. Let's say we enter in 8888, which is not programmed at all. It says invalid access code, so we get a different message there. So that's something to note there. But if I enter in the new master code, 7777, you see we do get access to the menu. Now let's also look about arming and disarming here. So we have our system currently disarmed, and let's say we go to arm. We're arming our system, and now we want to disarm our system, and we'll try doing it with our master code. Let's say we still think our master code's at the default of 1111. Let's see what happens. No, invalid access code. We've changed the code. That code no longer works with the system. So we have to enter in our new master code, 7777. Then the system does disarm. An alternative, like we have that program code, 4444. Let's try using that code. So if we do that, that code also disarms the system. So both of them work. So you can do that with valid user code. Just to show you can't do it with the installer code. Let's try that. 1561. Nuh-uh, you're not doing that with the installer code. So don't try using your installer code for arming and disarming. That code is just used for getting into programming. So let's set our master code back to the default because we just use our system for testing purposes. This isn't actually an armed 2 gig edge security system. In your case, if your system is armed, absolutely change your code, change your master code, protect yourself, protect your property. So we'll click the settings icon down here. We'll use our installer code this time, which ours is at the default, 1561. We're into the settings menu. We can choose users, and we're going to select the master users, and then we're going to choose access code. And then this is where we can provide the new code. We're going to set ours back to the default, 1111. Next, and then we confirm it, 1111. Save, And there we go. We've set our master code back to its default of 1111. And this is also where we can set up facial recognition and Bluetooth disarming, which are other ways that you can disarm your 2 gig edge security system. Other methods could include using a keypad, which you would also need a code for, or you can use a key fob, which is just a quick, handy press of a button. In that case, you don't necessarily need to remember a code. Or you can use the alarm.com service. If your system is monitored through alarm.com, then you can use the alarm.com mobile app or the alarm.com website using a compatible web browser to disarm your 2 gig edge security system. We have our access code set back to 1111. We're good, we're happy, we're ready to go. So that is how you change your master code on your 2 gig edge security system. If you have any questions about the 2 gig edge security system master codes or the 2 gig edge security system in general, you have any questions about alarm monitoring services, send an email to support@alarmgrid.com. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up below to like the video, and remember to subscribe to our channel for updates on future videos. We hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.